It's the 1st of November, it's autumn, we've been on this mooring in Uppermill for 6 days and Narrowboat Perseverance is now covered in fallen leaves, so the first job of the day is to clear them off the boat. We then push across the canal to the water point. We need to top up our tank before we set off cruising today. Whilst the tank's filling, Michael lowers the solar panels, which is easier to do from this side of the boat. Left up, they'd act like a bit of a sail and we'd be blown all over the place, not to mention the fact that we wouldn't fit under the bridges. It looks like we should be investing in a new water hose.
It is, yes, past noon. We've got about 3 hours of sunlight, so we're not going to make it.
Oh yeah, well let's just go as far as we can.
Okay.
And let's get going pretty soon. We're in Uppermill, you've said that. We've just removed all of the autumn leaves off the boat that soon probably be replaced in about 10 minutes.
20 minutes, as soon as we hit a tree.
We've filled up with water and we're on the way to, well, Manchester, but maybe Stalybridge today, maybe not that far.
Well, yeah, the next known actual official mooring is Stalybridge.
Okay.
Which is 17 locks away.
Okay.
Really want to understand why the Huddersfield Canal Society guys are doing. It is November 1st, but they're in full costume.
That's cute.
Somebody doesn't understand Halloween. It is now Christmas time, people. Actually, it's now Thanksgiving time.
You don't actually believe any of that, so you're talking
bollocks?
Yeah.
Yes, well.
And actually it's bonfire night time.
No, it really isn't. Any country which burns in effigy the one honest person to ever go into Parliament seems a little bit off in its thinking about its,
Propaganda.
Celebrations and stuff.
Right, you go and open the lock. You and George go and open the lock.
Okay.
I'll get the boat ready. We'd like to get all the way to Stalybridge today, but that's 15 locks and 8 miles away, so it's quite unlikely we'll make it that far. The first lock of the day is lock 21 West, Wade Lock, which is just a few hundred metres from the moorings. These locks have paddles on both sides of the canal, so while Michael shuts the gate behind the boat, I get off and lower one of the paddles. Waiting at the bottom of the lock for the gates to be opened is pretty damp and miserable. I especially don't like it when water's leaking into the chamber through the lock walls like in this one. Thankfully Michael doesn't keep me waiting too long and soon gets the gates opened. Oldham Road crosses the canal just below the lock. When the canal was restored 25 years ago, the stone arch supporting the road had to be extended with a new concrete structure as the road had been widened during the time the canal was closed. It feels more like a tunnel than a bridge now. We're leaving Uppermill behind and are approaching Greenfield, although the two villages seem to merge into one. We find that the watering hole lock is most of the way down, so there's a bit of a wait while we get it refilled. It's always important to check that there's no boats approaching in the other direction before you fill an empty lock, even when the canal is as quiet as this one. You just never know. And it's so frustrating if you're that boat coming the other way and the lock is set for you and then a boat comes along, doesn't check and resets it in the other direction. It's not just that you have to wait, it's also such a waste of water. Whilst we're using the lock, someone from the CRT arrives and they start clearing the bywash. Presumably, one reason why the pound is overflowing is because the bywashes are all clogged up with fallen leaves.
Very leaky lock. I don't know if you can hear me, but I just find it so weird that for 5 years it was normal for Michael to drive and me to do the locks. And I think I say it every vlog now. But it's now just so normal for me to drive and Michael to do the locks. I don't know if you can hear me inside that very leaky lock, but what I was saying is it used to be just normal for Michael to drive and me to do the locks. And I'll probably say this every vlog, but now it's just switched and it's normal for me to drive and Michael to do the locks. And I don't know how the switch happened, but it definitely happened.
This lovely little basin used to be called French's Wharf Marina, but it's now known as Saddleworth Marina. It has private moorings for just 16 boats. This is another bridge that had to be rebuilt when the canal was restored. All of the new bridges seem to have been built in this rather angular style. Poor old Missy's seen better days. Mind you, so has Perseverance. It's about 3/4 of a mile from here to the next lock. This lovely original stone bridge is called Shore Hall Bridge. These may not be the prettiest of houses, but they have really lovely long gardens that back onto the canal. As this is a fairly long pound, Michael's had time to walk ahead to get Royal George Lock opened. The lock is named after the Royal George Mills. The next lock used to be called Royal George Lois Lock, but I've also seen it called Keith Jackson Lock. Either way, it's a really pretty spot, especially with all the red fallen leaves. This is the view of the mill from the lock, although it's no longer used as a mill and it's now been converted into apartments. The navigation narrows ahead at the Royal George Aqueduct. It takes the canal over the River Tame. This is another canal structure that had to be restored before the canal could be reopened in 2001. At Division Lock, Michael gets the water raising and then he walks ahead to set the next lock while I get the gates opened and the boat inside. I think the name of the lock comes from a time when this was the border between Yorkshire and Lancashire. Of course, our chief supervisor takes up his usual position on the lock side while the boat lowers, and we wait for Michael to return to let the boat out of the lock. When we arrive at Gasworks Lock, we can cruise straight in. The pound above Roach Lock is incredibly full. It's overflowing onto the towpath. I wonder if this is due to too much rain or blocked bywashes. You may have noticed that there's very few boats moored on this canal. I mean, I know it's November, but still this is only the second one we've seen today that's not on a private mooring since we left Uppermill. As we approach Wood End Lock, we pass the huge brick building that was once Wood End Mill. It's now used as an industrial estate. Most of these locks are dark and damp, but this one's rather mossy and very green too. We're now passing through the town of Mossley and Tameside, and this is Wharf Cottage Lock, also known as Micklehurst Lock. As it's about a mile to the next lock, and after many miles of walking, George and Michael decide to hop on board the boat to ride. Under Egmont Street Bridge, and we're stopped by some boys who want some help retrieving their football from the canal. Ball returned and we can get on our way again. I'm glad Michael was on board when they stopped us, as this kind of thing is much easier with one person controlling the boat and the other one hanging off the side. This is Scout Tunnel. It's only 615 feet long, and unlike the Standage Tunnel, this tunnel has a towpath running through it. It's a fairly straight tunnel and not too intimidating, as you can see the light at the end as soon as you enter. The first part of the tunnel is lined with bricks, then it changes to bare rock. Not that you can see it here as it's so dark. At the far end of the tunnel there's quite a sharp turn to the left. I take it really slowly as I really don't want to hit this little boat. George has decided he's had enough of walking, so we get him back onto the boat so he can ride the last couple of locks. And now it looks like George is regretting his choices and he'd rather be up on the lock side. "5 miles and 13 locks done. We decide to call it a day and stop at the service point moorings. There used to actually be a Waterways office here. I don't know how long it closed, but it's looking very abandoned now." So we've stopped. We didn't make it to Stalybridge.
we
ran out of light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
Sunsets-
still got a bit of light, but
Yeah.
sunset's around now, and there's still 4 more looks to do, and a couple of miles. So we just thought, Michael thought there's some bollards. Let's just moor up.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, we've got bollards between 2 locks where there's a set of services that I'd completely forgotten about.
I remember these services. One of the services is missing because they have the white squares which shows what everything is.
Mm-hmm.
They've screwed on a Canal and River Trust sign over one of the services that's clearly no longer available.
Yeah, I think that was the showers.
Sounds about right.
So I believe there's a bathroom, and there's toilet facilities and garbage facilities and a sluice.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Yeah. Oh, and water. There's water.
Oh, and water. Yeah.
So yeah.
But you really want to have water near your sluice.
Yeah.
It's basically a bidet, is what that is.
And in hindsight, what we should have done if we'd known we were mooring here is not fill up with water before we left, delaying our departure, but filled up here. Oh well.
C'est la vie.
So.
Since both of us had completely forgotten this place existed, I'm pretty sure we were probably better off just delaying ourselves and then finding out.
It's a really beautiful canal. It's really beautiful in autumn. Like, it's a damp day. It hasn't rained, but it's a wet autumn day, and it's just been stunning, but tiring.
And I've been wearing waterproof socks all day, and my shoes are sopping. Because there's been 3 pounds where there's been overflowing.
Yeah, and I only saw to pick you up in one.
Yeah.
And
And you had to push through a tree, and there was a little boy going, "Hello!" And he was funny because you were coming down in the pound, and he was practicing. So he was just
getting ready to say hello.
Wow! And there was all these, the parents were just like, "Oh my God, this kid's on cocaine."
And then we rescued 2 other kids' balls. Well, it might not have been their ball, but there was a ball on the offside, and they're on the towpath.
Well, I hope it was their ball. It was bright pink.
Well, they've got a ball, and it's not in the canal anymore, so that's good.
And
And
he made a funny sound when he got the ball.
did you?
Yeah, he was like, "Whee!"
He was excited.
Well, he did sort of a jump and fist bump sort of thing while yelling something. A sound that really can only be made by,
An 8-year-old boy.
well, somebody approaching puberty and trying to sound excited, I guess. It was a strange sound.
And I'm still not used to the fact that the new normal for Perseverance is me driving and you locking.
Yeah. And I'm not used to daylight savings having gone go bye-bye.
Right, so should we end it
We're
here?
now on Greenwich Mean Time, which is supposed to be mean as in average daytime, but
But you
really
think
it
it's
means
mean?
Greenwich a nice person time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we should get the
Okay.
chimney on fire going, then I should go
Yeah,
and walk into Stalybridge to try and find
something.
There is a Tesco there. There's an Aldi there. Neither of which is what I'm looking for.
No.
But if we need anything, I can get it.
We don't.
Okay. That's because I got up this morning and walked into Aldi.
Yeah.
Because I can't stop with the walking.
You can't. Like now, after a long day, most people will be like, "Oh, I'm going to put my feet up." Not Michael.
Nope.
He
I'm
has
gonna put my feet to work.
energy to burn or something. Nervous energy.
Nervous energy and obsessive compulsive needs.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. GoPro.
And that decided to comment at that moment.
It's time to
It's like,
turn off.
yes, you do. Shut it down.
I'm shutting down now too.
Right. So, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to Minimalist Maximal Velocity for the talking at the tiller and other things. We need to record another one of those.
Yeah, it's just been too many looks lately.
Yeah. That's what we should do, is talking at the tiller about too many locks. We should give a proper send-off to the Huddersfield by bitching about it.
No, I love it.
It's beautiful, but
Hard.
they could do with a refurb
Just a bit of dredging.
and
But
getting rid of all those silly anti-vandal locks, most of which aren't functional anyway,
Yeah.
but were all installed in just such a way that our windlass will hit the idiot shaft
And they don't need to be where they are because they're in the middle of nowhere. And they could do
And most of them are completely non-functional to begin with.
some maintenance on the leaky locks, definitely some dredging, some maintenance inside the locks on the bricks that are just covered in vegetation and leaking. But other than that, it's great.
Yeah.
All right, we are stopping now.
We are stopping now.